Hi, it's Maggie the Irish Gypsy here to bring you your May 2022 mid-month general readings. We are looking at the last 2 weeks of May, and this reading is for the fire sign of Aries. Welcome everyone. I hope you're all doing well. Thanks for taking the time to be here to watch these videos, and always a note of gratitude for your likes, your shares, subscribing, your support, feedback, comments. Those of you who reach out for personal readings, always welcome. Thank you. So Aries, this reading is for you for the last 2 weeks of May 2022. That's if your sun, moon, rising, or Venus sign is in Aries. It's also relevant if you're cross-watching for an Aries. It's a general reading, so of course it's going to resonate a little differently for everyone. So if you know your sun, moon, rising, and Venus, watch each of your videos because they can bring in additional insight and perspective into what's going on in your life. And if you find that something does resonate with you enough that you'd like to reach out for a personal reading, perhaps take a deeper look at something for yourself or as a gift for someone else. Personal readings do make great gifts. Feel free to email me directly at maggie1mcguire@gmail.com. You can also find that contact info by clicking the description link. And so message me if you're interested. I'd be delighted to hear from you. I can usually respond the same day with more information. I do offer quite a wide variety of readings in all areas of life, and I'm pretty timely about scheduling, so email me if you'd like. Okay, Aries, let's see what the last 2 weeks of May look like for you. I am using the Tarot of Dreams and clarifying with the Gilded Tarot Royale. Okay, Aries, we begin with a choice, standing at a crossroads. 2 of Coins. With the Knight of Wands. Knights represent offers and opportunities for change, the speed at which situations move. The Knight of Wands is the Knight of Fire. That's the element which governs this suit. Fire is a very enthusiastic, passionate, inspirational, fast-moving, spontaneous energy. Do I go? Do I leave? Do I run? Do I move forward with something? We have the Ace of Wands. Aces represent the number 1, so this is the start of a new path or the opportunity for that. The Ace of Coins, also known as Pentacles in other decks, is governed by the element of Earth, so it's a more practical energy, a more earthly energy. So the Ace of Coins can represent some kind of practical new beginning, perhaps a new job, moving, relocating, new projects, resources to begin something new. With another knight, the Knight of Swords, the Knight of Air, that's the element which governs the suit of swords. And air governs our intellectual landscape, our ideas and thoughts, ideologies, belief systems, perspectives. So the Knight of Swords is kind of like the mailman of the tarot. He brings in news and information and conversations, actions based on what he's learned. Do I start building something new? It might be literal. Next, we have the Moon, a lack of clarity, deep-seated fears perhaps bubbling up. There's light under the moon just like there is light under the sun, but under the sun, everything is illuminated. It banishes the shadows, light, love, warmth, laughter, and an uplifting energy. The moon is murkier. There's a lot of shadows and hidden nooks and corners, and fears and things are lurking in there. A lack of clarity, fears. Feels like you're stuck, Aries, not knowing what to do. With the moon, we have the 2 of Cups, soulmate, kindred spirits, best friends, partnership. For many of you, this is likely going to be a relationship reading, either about a relationship or about something else that affects the relationship. Love and romance relationship for many of you, but it could be the relationship between a best friend or a really close partnership. From the bottom of the deck, the overall energy and focus is you, the Emperor, which has the sign of Aries attached to it. The Emperor can represent somebody older. It can represent somebody who's very used to doing to ruling things, to running things, to having their own way, to being perhaps maybe a bit on the controlling, domineering side, very linear, very black and white. The Emperor's natural mate is the Empress. She kind of softens a bit of his hard edges. Standing firm, trying to control the situation. But the thing is, Aries, it looks like you're stuck between two different things. Maybe wanting to leave, wanting to travel, wanting to go, wanting to run, if that's a cycle that you have, or building something new. Not knowing which one is the best thing to do, perhaps. Wondering what the consequences or fallout might be. Let's clarify a bit. I mean, the Moon and the Two of Cups here, Aries, represents that you're a bit in the dark where this partnership or relationship is concerned. You may be concerned that if you leave, maybe you have a pattern of coming and going here with the Knight of Wands, with the Knight of Swords, but something has happened and you're thinking perhaps if you leave this time or go forward, whatever this Knight of Wands represents, what's going to happen to my relationship? Interesting. Let's clarify the Emperor. Feels like you're stuck. Feels like you want to do something which is probably within a pattern you have, but for some reason or for whatever reason, you feel like if you do that now, it's going to damage or end a relationship. But the alternative is something that perhaps you're afraid of doing or wanting to do, maybe going to the next level in this relationship. Clarify the Emperor for overall energy. Now, for some of you, you can reverse this. This might be what somebody very close to you, like your partner, is going through in regards to you. But for most of you, I always read first as the energy coming in for the sign for you, for Aries. So overall energy for Aries is you, the Emperor, and we're clarifying with the Two of Swords and the Eight of Swords. You are stuck. I mean, but the Two of Swords does imply a reluctance or a resistance to make a decision, to look at something head on, because if you do, then you'll see the truth or reality, the absolute truth or reality of something, and you'll have to make a choice, make a decision. I mean, the preceding card, the cards are in suits in a chronological order for a reason in terms of the flow of them, right? So the card before this, of course, is the Ace of Swords. That's the idea, the epiphany, seeing reality. And in the next card here, you're like, no, I don't want to see that. I don't want to look at that. Because if I do, then I'll have to make some kind of choice or decision, and I don't want to. I want to keep doing what I've been doing. So there is an implication here, Aries. Don't shoot the messenger. That part of your being stuck, if not all of your being stuck, is because you don't want to make a decision or you don't want to change something. The Eight of Swords is somebody who says, oh, I can't because of this sword. I can't because of that sword. The swords represent, it's swords, it's air. So the swords represent ideology, belief systems. I can't because of this. I can't because of that. All the things that we tell ourselves, the reasons we tell ourselves we can't affect changes or do something different because we're chained to something else. When what we're typically enslaved by or trapped or held hostage by in an illusionary way, but it can feel very real, is our own patterns and our own habits, right? Stuck. Clarify the Two of Coins. Decisions, choices. The Moon, again, really stuck. The Hanging Man, which kind of goes along with that Two of Swords, the Hanging Man doesn't take any action. He's just watching, perhaps gaining some new knowledge and information. He's watching something playing out, but he's not taking any action at all. The World, graduation, the last major arcana card in the tarot. This is ending one cycle and moving into a new one, graduation, learning everything and taking something. You're in a higher grade, right? You're leveling up here. Well, which is what Spirit wants you to do, but there's, again, some stuck, some reluctance, resistance. Clarify the Knight of Wands. Fast-moving opportunities, fast-moving change, travel. The thing with Knights is that they're not known for their staying power because they're all about the mission, the quest, the thing to be achieved, delivered, whatever. So they charge in, do the thing, and then go back out again. Clarify the Knight of Wands. The Emperor again, there you are. The Ace of Coins. Again, Ace of Pentacles, same thing, Ace of Coins. Whatever the specific details of this are, Aries, and it's going to vary because this is a general reading, the fundamental issue here I see is a decision, a choice. If you do what you can, if you continue to do what you have before, you're going to lose here, likely a relationship. But yet, to do something different looks truly, truly frightening, terrifying, scary. For some reason, you feel you can't do the other thing. You feel stuck. It's like, I want to go do this thing, which I always have. Maybe it's just coming and going, right? Maybe not being too committed. But for some reason, you feel like if you do that now, it's going to really cost you where this relationship is concerned. But to do the next thing with the relationship, or the next step, or take it to the next level, whatever that might mean for you, is also something you're really afraid of doing and don't want to do. So you're stuck. Clarify Ace of Coins. And for some of you, this might not be about the relationship itself. It might be perhaps in another area of life, like work, career, moving, some combination of those things, and what effect is it going to have on this relationship? Because the relationship is central here too. Clarify Ace of Coins. The Two of Wands and the Seven of Pentacles. So we're clarifying this practical new beginning or new opportunity. And again, here's this needing to make a decision, another crossroads here, a path of action. Which path do I choose? You're thinking about it. I mean, the Seven of Pentacles is about reflection, contemplation, taking stock, taking inventory, taking a look at what you have invested in something and trying to make decisions based on that. Again, because this is a general reading, I'm not sure about the specific details. It could be on maybe a less emotionally complex level. It could be some of you are this is something that you and your partner are facing together, like moving or relocating or buying a home or building a home or starting a new job or new project or something of that sort. And you're wondering, is this going to be worth it? If I do this, what's going to be the investment and the cost? If I do this, what's going to be the investment and a cost? It might be something that's very practical for you and your partner. For others of you, it might actually be about the relationship itself. Do I stay? Do I go? Do I do this next step or this next new thing with my partner? And if not, is that going to cost me the partnership? Probably. Yeah. Clarify the Knight of Swords. The Seven of Wands. The Knight of Swords can represent a conversation too. The Seven of Wands, defensive, protective energy. We have the Seven of Pentacles and the Seven of Wands. So this is having very defensive and protective energy about what you've already put in or investments. It may be that you're afraid to take this next step because you're afraid of the financial, or you're afraid it might cost you financially. You're defensive here. The Five of Pentacles, insufficiency and lack. Maybe you feel like you can't afford to do something financially, materially. You're afraid of that. Perhaps you're afraid of getting financially and materially entangled or intertwined with a partner. This can also represent emotional, though, because if you go back into the same pattern or you leave again or whatever, this can also be, a conversation about the fact that you're going to be shut out, right? You're going to be left kind of out in the cold or feeling shunned or something like that. It can be a card, you could regret this. This feels very emotionally kind of tangled. Clarify the moon. The Nine of Cups, wish fulfillment, or having what you want. But here, sometimes there's a cautionary thing about be careful what you wish for, because you might get it and find out that it's not everything, right? It's the Nine of Cups. It's more than enough to eat, more than enough to drink, kind of physical indulgence and decadence. Nothing wrong with that. But it's not the Ten of Cups. The Ten of Cups is the cycle completion where it all comes together, the happy home card, and has more of a basis in home, family, love, completion. This is just having what you want. The Eight of Cups, the Seven of Swords, leaving, turning your back, walking away, sneaking. This is like sneaking away. This is like cutting and running, sneaking away, not telling anybody too much. Doing it undercover or leaving very quickly. But it's all clarifying the moon. If I do that, what's going to happen with my Two of Cups here? Clarified Two of Cups. The Empress, this is your natural mate. The Emperor's natural mate. Justice and the Six of Wands. Justice is quite simply doing the right thing, the honorable thing, the ethical thing. Six of Wands, victory, triumph, success, and being recognized for that as well. I don't know, Aries. This feels like there's one clear ethical path here, but for some reason you're trying to tell yourself, because you want to stay in a pattern that's old and unhealthy, or has become unhealthy, it feels like you're trying to justify staying on that path rather than taking what feels like a very clear, ethical, honorable path. So the question likely remains, okay, if you want to stay in that pattern, fair enough, honor the choices that you feel you need to make, but then you need to be kind of forthright and honest about this, particularly if leaving is part of this, and not kind of doing it undercover or not speaking about it. Because in a relationship, the other person, is entitled to know what the truth is, so they can make their own decisions based on knowledge, right? Interesting reading, a bit murky, which feels like the feeling that's inside of you. All right, let's just wrap this up with any advice, guidance, feedback from Spirit for Aries for the last 2 weeks of May. Strength, face your fears, doubts, insecurities, walk into them, wrestle with them, overcome them, make peace with them. Look at your shadow side, the part of ourselves we don't like to look at, our character defects, our bad habits and flaws. It takes strength, wisdom, courage, humility to do this, but it's also what you gain more of. This is about facing your fear. Spirit's telling you to face your fears. The Page of Swords, our information gatherer. This is somebody who is learning, gathering new knowledge, information. The Eight of Wands, the Devil. This is an unhealthy pattern of running, of leaving, of going in, coming back, going in, coming back, going in, coming back. And preceded by the Page of Swords, I think Spirit is telling you, look, face your fears. And in order to do that, that requires self-examination. No change comes without first beginning with self-examination. That's looking inwards at our own patterns, our own unhealthy cycles of coming and going, facing those fears. Why do I do this? What am I afraid of? Facing that. Ace of Swords, seeing the truth and the reality of what a situation is, so that you can make choices to take action to create a healthier reality for yourself. Three of Wands, Ten of Wands, this only when you figure out what it is that you've been carrying, what it is that's holding you back, what it is that you're afraid of, learning how to drop these burdens that you've been carrying for so long, only then can you look forward to a bright new future and have an uplifting of this energy. It feels like this kind of looks, Aries, like a classic situation where one person came into a relationship with a whole lot of baggage and fears from a previous relationship. It's like being in a relationship with somebody who's still in a relationship with the person who hurt them, even though they may not be in that relationship. They're still holding on to so much of that hasn't been worked through, that it's going to cost them another relationship. That's kind of what this feels like here. And it feels kind of murky and confused, which is probably, I'm picking up what you're feeling about this situation. It feels like sometimes, yes, I'm just going to go do the thing and whatever happens, happens, right? I'm just going to do what I want to do. But then there's other times where you're like looking at this partnership, your Two of Cups, and going, I can't do that. That's my emperor. That's my empress. And kind of going back and forth and being stuck. Spirit is asking you to do some truly honest self-examination and looking at that and being honest with yourself. One way or the other, it's about being honest with this person so they can make their decisions based on, what the total truth and reality is, so that both of you can move forward one way or the other. Okay, Aries, felt more like a counseling session than anything else, right? All right, Aries, well, I hope that this reading at least made sense to those of you it needed to, and provided some clarification or at least some food for thought. Again, if any of this resonates enough that you'd like to reach out for a personal reading for yourself or as a gift for someone else, perhaps take a deeper look at something, feel free to email me directly at Maggie1McGuire@gmail.com. I'd be delighted to hear from you and to work with you. You can also get that contact info by clicking the description link. I will see you all in a couple of weeks for the June general readings. Until then, stay safe, stay well, and I hope to see you back here again soon. Bye-bye.